Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So on the agenda tonight we have Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and this is going to be coming from 1974 and they're going to be playing through Almost Cut My Hair, a song that I can relate to. So let's get these guys up on screen and see how they get on.
Almost cut my hair. Happened just the other day. It's getting kinda long. Could have said it was in my way, but I didn't, and I wonder why. I feel like letting my freak fly by, as I feel like I'm over. Someone must be because I had the flu for Christmas, yeah. And I'm not feeling up to par, no. Increases my paranoia. Like looking at my mirror and seeing one of them damn lit up Adam 12, yeah. But I'm not giving in an inch to fear. I promise myself again this year, 'cause I feel like I'm already.
I'm just going to jump in here because it is so easy just to fall into the groove of the track and just literally just sail along with it because it's so cool. It's just like a jam within a song. Obviously, this is a composition and, as I said, something that I can relate to with my hair. And this song really hit a chord with people in the 1970s where it was almost like a statement of having long hair meant that you're rising up against the establishment because you're not conforming and you're not cutting your hair. And I think that's pretty much what the angle is, and that's why people really got into this and took this song to heart, even though I know that David Crosby said that when he's writing this song it's the most juvenile lyrics that he's ever written, but it doesn't mean that there isn't some meaning in there. It is one of those things that even now there are so many ways that you should look, or at least you're being told that you should look a certain way, and certainly as a youngish person with long hair, it is so out of the ordinary for somebody to look like me, especially in the town where I am. It's like David Crosby sings when he says, I've got to let my freak flag fly high. And it is one of those things, you are a freak, you are standing out compared to everybody else. And I really do understand that, the amount of comments that I've had. At the end of the day, you've just got to look the way you want to. And some people say to me in the comments section, they say, why don't you cut your hair? And then I say to them, why don't you grow your hair long? You know, it's a personal choice. So just do what you want to do. And a lot of people have drawn the parallel with Jimi Hendrix's song If 6 Was 9, because he says a similar thing in that. But David Crosby here, very much from that attitude of, what I love about this performance is his attitude comes across in the vocal because he's so into it and he really leans into the sound in particular phrases and with particular lyrics as well. So it's a really cool performance, this, because it's just no holds barred, and because it's got that jam feel to it, so much soul in there as well. And I know they're called a folk rock band, but there's so much blues and soul in Crosby's vocal that you can't help but get into it, and you start to appreciate the attitude of the vocal. And this is a great example of a video where it is all about the feeling. Obviously, we've got solid playing all round and a great vocal, but it's that overall feeling that you get from the music. It's not looking at players at their technical wizardry, playing a million notes a second. It's the exact opposite. It's just feeling the music. It's so hard to describe. And that's the great thing about music, is some people might listen to this and it might do nothing for them, and other people will listen to this and it'll absolutely just rock their world, and they'll be able to get so much from a live performance like this that is almost like just a jam that's just packed with emotion. And now we're going to have a little bit of solo work from Stephen Stills and also Neil Young. So let's get back into the video.
When I finally get myself together, get down in some of that sweet southern weather, yeah. And I'm going to find a space inside a land. Separate the wheat from some tender with a beat, like a throwing girl somewhere. Cadillac.
I'm just going to jump in here, but I will finish the video in this video because obviously now bringing the dynamics down after getting a little bit more up tempo in terms of getting into those solo sections, we've got Neil Young with his such a particular way of playing and such his own sound when he plays lead, because he does one thing that really stands out, which is he spends so much time on the same note where other players would not. And it's something about Neil that he just plays lead his own way. I've done a few videos on Neil, and as we can see here, again, he's bringing in that Bigsby or that whammy bar in order to give his single notes vibrato. So it means that when he is spending a bit of time on one note, that particular note he might play 3 or 4 times, but he's giving that vibrato all the time. So it's not just a droning sound that you're getting, he's at least getting a little bit of expression in there. The other thing about Neil is that he'll go to a note that you're not expecting, and it's something that melody-wise just he does. He hears those notes where other people don't hear them, and that's why when he plays lead guitar you just know that it's him playing, because he'll just throw you a curveball and go somewhere totally different that you're not expecting. Stephen, I mean, here again, he's not using a pick. It looks like he's just using the nail of his first finger, and we saw a little bit where he was using his thumb just to strike the string. So by using the nail of the first finger, it means that pretty much you're going to be restricted to downstrokes, but that's absolutely fine when you're not worried about playing lots and lots of fast stuff. We're not going for speed here, we're playing for feel, and that's the whole point. And this is one of those tracks with that jamming feel to it that really lends itself to extemporization. I think the original track was about 4 minutes 20, around there, but then there was an extended released version which would have been more kind of 7-8 minutes, like you would probably hear live with these extended extemporized lead sections in the middle. But let's just watch the end of the video. It does suddenly cut out, so I'm gonna have to stop it right when they finish, but let's get back into it.
Separate the wheat from some tell like I owe her.
And there it is. I stopped it just in time. So that is it. I want to just bring it back to David's vocal because of the way that he really belts out that chest voice. David starts to push and really lean into that vocal. You get the emotion from the sound of the vocal. Some singers also have the ability to get that same emotion and have that same tone up into their head voice. And that's a rare thing in order to be able to do that, to have that perfect technique to blend that chest voice with the head voice. And looking back at these old performances, the great singers and the great performances were never playing it safe. They were just literally putting everything on the line every night. And you can tell that's the point. You get to hear through the vocal that they are pushing it and that they mean what they're singing, and it's so cool to see. This is one of those videos that you might really like, you might get into it, or it might not be your thing. You might not get into the groove or the feel of it, which is absolutely fine, but it's a great video, as I said, just to show the difference between feeling a performance and another band that might just play it all technically correct, but there's no feel, there's no emotion in there. So this is a great one to look at. Of course, these guys being a super group means that you're going to have some crazy vocal ability on stage individually, also playing ability. And a little interesting thing is that if you do look up these guys, it will say that there's been over 40 band members in terms of people that have come in and then out, and that's just due to that rotational nature of drums and bass and occasional percussion as well. Sometimes keys too. Neil Young, of course, was one of those that was an occasional band member, but a cool video to look at for the overall vibe of the performance, and also just making the statement and making the point that if you are a freak, don't change. Just do things the way that you want to do them. And if somebody else has a problem with that, that's their problem. It's not your problem. So just keep on being weird or having your hair long. I'm certainly an advocate of that. But anyway, thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at, and keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!